Do you ever catch yourself caring too much about what others think of you? Do you find yourself orienting your behavior and attitude according to how people would like to see it? If that's the case, you have some work to do. Becoming a people pleaser is the most common way to lose your individuality. And if you lose your individuality, your free will, you have lost your soul. The problem is, a lot of boys are afraid of doing or saying the right thing. They fear being canceled or generating animosity amongst their peers. But if you profoundly believe in your perspective of the world, nobody can ever detour you from the truth. You must be very delicate with your words and, firstly, only choose to say things you know aren't lies. You must formulate your thoughts as honestly as you can, because what other option do you have? The opposite is only going to be more dangerous. If you deeply think, question, and say things you believe are true and they get you into trouble, it's going to be a lot less trouble you would get into if you committed the sin of lying. You might have to face more flack in the moment, but that's the better alternative than the storm in the distance when you fabricate reality. A lie is never hidden for long. That's the nature of the universe. That's why you must first stop caring about the repercussions the truth brings. Next, when you have an opportunity to say something, and it can be anywhere, you need to drop the mentality of trying to convince people. A lot of people approach conversations or debates in this manner. They have a list of things in their minds, and their goal is to convince others to hop onto their train. That's a flawed approach. Why do you care about what others choose to believe? Is it something you have any control over? Absolutely not. So instead of wandering about, borderline begging people to see through your lens, your approach should be simplistic. Just say to yourself, I do not care what anybody thinks. I'm going to speak what I know best. After that, whatever happens, happens. It's something no one will ever have control over, but so many deceive themselves into thinking they do. Have faith in the truth, and that's the only right option you truly have. Sometimes the consequences will be bad, and that's why so many people get comfortable with lying. It starts off when you're a kid and you notice that lying saves you from the deserved punishment temporarily. But kids don't know better. They can only think in the short term. Lying is never a good long-term strategy. Faith doesn't work in short time spans. You can't critique faith by questioning if you got what you wanted the next very second. That's not faith. Faith is more so, I'm going to speak the truth, and that is the only right option I even have. Everything else is the devil's playground. And that's the exciting part about honesty. When you're not actively sabotaging your own life's tale, then you witness the unfolding of the actual adventure. If you tell the truth, it means you're revealing your reality. That's basically what truth even is. When you reveal your being, your reality, then you get to actually exist in the world. You get the sensation of living right there at that very moment. There is nothing more liberating than that realization. Why? Because that's your adventure, that's your journey, that's your destiny. That's the divine narrative of your life, and no, you cannot fabricate reality, no matter how much you try. So even the effort is futile. But in case you do try to pull off that gargantuan feat, what's going to be the outcome? When you hide from the truth, you hide from yourself, and that puts your entire existence in shambles. Who even are you at that point? Are you some puppet who has no power? Someone who is commanded around? Who has no voice or reasoning abilities? When you make lies your safe haven, the truth is, you're not even living your life anymore. You lose your soul, your identity. Yes, it's difficult to be honest and have it backfire on you. But take my word for it till you experience it. You will recover in only a couple of days if it was something devastating, which is a rare case. But compared to not having any will to not say what you want to say, it's only a minor inconvenience. Condition yourself to withstand the roof 2 weeks to come. Know that you might even be mobbed on social media. But if you know what you did or said isn't wrong, there's no need to apologize. That's rule number 1, because if you don't apologize, you won't need to go into a defensive mode. If you have to, maybe even double down on your thoughts. But don't do it with hatred or vengeance in your mind. Be careful with your words always. Once you start apologizing unnecessarily, you become an easy target. And then every mob that comes to attack you for anything you say, they'll get their apologies out of you. you'll become helpless and weak. If you can only hold out for the duration of their anger without giving in, you get to walk away unscathed. And I know, as a reasonable person, you feel conflicted when you have people angry at you. You start to look internally if there's any fault. But in today's world, as much as self-reflection is a human strength, it's also become a point of weakness. It allows herd mentality to come superior only because it's easier than to critically think for oneself. And you'll be up against a lot of those in your pursuit of honesty. I hope this message helped to open your eyes to a new view. With that said, thank you for tuning in. See you in the next video.